Hey guys, what's up? How is everyone? Hi Grumpy, hi Reese, hi Evan. How are you all? Oh, I need to get out of the way. Sorry I'm a little bit late today. It's going to be a bit of a late stream. All I have to do though, really, is finish up this. I just need to get a little bit more gray all over, so I'm gonna just mix some of that up. I hope you guys have all had a good day. Hi Bryce, what's up? Glad to see you in my YouTube channel and not my Twitch. How are you? We're doing a bit of painting today. Might talk about some D&D stuff. I did a lot of writing for our Eberron campaign today. Oh, yeah, I need to take care of that brush later. Let's mix up some of this gray for our guy here. Let's do. That should be pretty good for painting. We need something a little thicker to get the paint. What do we have over here? Okay. Ooh, DM, yeah. Let me pull you guys up over here as well. Because I can't see the full chat right now. Also, shout out Bryce up. He's in my YouTube chat right now. He definitely said that and then left, or muted the stream. Yes, I do have a new redeem in Twitch chat. Also, thank you, Reese Cup, for the first. You were, in fact, not the first one in chat today, but you still got the first redeem. Good job. For any of you guys who don't know, Bryce Up is one of my clients. So that's probably why he dipped right away. Because he actually has shit to do. Got a little bit of black paint now. We're going to add a little bit of white to that to try and match this gray that we already have going. Okay. Let's cap this before we drop anything in there. Grab the white. Probably a little bit more white. I'll mix it over here so you guys can see. We got my really messy palette. We're mixing some of the black and white together. I think this is going to be pretty close to the color we already have too, which is going to be nice. Just about done mixing this here. All right. There we go. And then we will start painting it. So I'm gonna switch to this nice smaller brush. Actually, I probably want a little bit bigger than this. Let's see what I have. I'll use this one, which is a little bit bigger. But I did leave it sitting in water for a week, so hopefully it's still all right. Here it is. So let's see. This paints. We don't kind of only have the some finer details left to paint, so it should be fine. And we just have this kind of base coat of the gray, and then we're gonna add a little bit of rust to some of the edges, these teeth, for example, all that stuff. And kind of in these gaps over here, we're gonna try and add some rust too, where there's a lot of movement where it could be worn down pretty much. But I'm hoping that this goes pretty well. Let me cap this white paint that I left here. And let's get into it. Okay, so D&D stuff. I think I talked about this briefly, maybe last week. I know I talked about it in the last stream at least, where we were playing some Baldur's Gate. But I've been using a new program to kind of get all my D&D notes together, which has been very helpful. And I've been trying to write some new encounters and adventures for the gang. So we got some cool stuff coming, hopefully. As long as, they don't completely avoid every opportunity to go do the adventure. Which they might, because that's what happens in D&D, is your party just kind of ignores the thing that they're supposed to do. But that's fine, that's part of the fun of it, We're also trying to get into some of the characters' backstories a bit more. We've seen a bit of Neil's backstory with Lamps and Tramps. I don't think we've seen any of Ari's or Jaramir's yet, though. So we're gonna be diving into a little bit of that, which is gonna be really fun. Excuse me. And it's one of those things that, like, now that I've done it and I've written it down. Now that I wrote it down, I have written it down. Now that I have written it down, I want to talk about it and share it. But I also want to not spoil it so that we can enjoy it as a um, as the fun adventure that it is, and see where it goes rather than me tell you where I plan for it to go. We can see where uh, Kane, Jirambe, and Neil bring it, because they're going to add a whole bunch of crazy stuff to it, I'm sure. Because they're gonna be kind of crazy, and they're gonna have all their antics. Neil especially has some crazy stuff always. I'm also hoping to explore the world of Eberron a bit more, because so far we've kind of only seen bits and pieces of Karrnath and a little bit of Aundair, which are Karrnath is kind of the area that we started in, and Aundair is the place we kind of recently arrived at. We're in a town called Fairhaven, and we're just kind of starting to see what Fairhaven has to offer. But we're trying to slow down a little bit here. We've had a couple episodes where we've been slowing down, so I'm trying to get us kind of back into the plot of everything. Back where kind of the story starts happening, so no one gets too bored of it. Which was kind of my hope last episode. Thank you, Miss Book Lady, for the subscription with Prime. I appreciate it very much. We're just talking about some D&D stuff. We have had a couple slower episodes where everyone's kind of catching their breath after all the chaos that happened at the start, and kind of ramping back up into it because we took a bit of a hiatus. So now we are trying to kind of get back into it and get some crazy stuff happening again. Hiya, heya. How are you? How are things? Just doing some painting, you know. Hanging out. A little behind. When they're trying to find the companions in the pub, I think. We'll catch up soon. Wonderful. Things are good. Awesome. Yeah. A lot of stuff happening in pubs. It's a very easy location in D&D. Because, you know, every town has a pub or an inn where you can grab a couple drinks and hang out. And it's a great place for shenaniganry. Definitely has been fun. Good base point for travelers, exactly. We have, especially with Neil having lamps and tramps as part of his backstory, it makes sense to bring him back there pretty often, and for him to enjoy it. And it's just a real fun place to be. So I'm glad everyone's enjoying it as much as we are. Because we have been enjoying it quite a bit. There's actually been some recommendations to rename the Discord after Lamps and Tramps, but I don't know. I feel like Lamps and Tramps is kind of Neil's thing. I've been a little hesitant about it. Also, because once this campaign ends and we move on to another one, I don't want to be renaming it after everything, you know? It kind of needs to be its own thing. Oh, where's my mouse? Sorry, guys. Only ever D&D, you started and you got drunk the first tavern you stumbled into. Yeah, that is exactly how it goes. There we go. Found some wild magic mushrooms, got high, and couldn't leave the village to investigate the haunted graveyard the DM had set up. Yep, that is exactly what happens. I have a whole bunch of stuff set up that I am certain we are going. It's going to take an incredibly long time to get to, if we get to it at all, because of players getting incredibly drunk and high, and kind of avoiding the plot, not intentionally, but just because they're having fun and they're doing shenanigans, which can't blame them. They're having fun. But it's kind of an ongoing joke that, like, at certain points the DM kind of has to railroad the party into doing the plot, or else it doesn't happen. But there's also plenty of stories where it's like, true, it's all about the fun. Exactly. If the party's not having fun, then there's no point to the adventure. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so there are plenty of stories about, like, oh, the whole story is about rescuing a kidnapped princess who got kidnapped on her wedding day. And then the party was like, oh, the princess doesn't look happy on her wedding day, and they kidnapped the princess in an act of rescuing her from getting married away to some prince. And the whole party became about, or the whole game became like running away and trying to find somewhere safe for the princess rather than trying to find the princess. And it was one of those like throwaway lines, like, oh, the princess doesn't look too jazzed about the wedding, that the party clung to. And they were like, oh, well, if she's not happy, then clearly this is a forced marriage and she doesn't want to be here. And the DM was like, that sounds like more of a fun adventure than what I had lined up, so we're throwing all this away. And we're doing this now. And that's the fun kind of adventures that happen in home games. That I hope to be a part of, or I hope to have the pleasure of DMing sometime. So far, the only stuff I've DM'd has been on the stream, so I'm very new to that as well. But it's been incredibly fun. I also have this game I've been playing in with Jovan's community. They have a D&D game going that you can drop in, drop out of. They have a couple parties for it, and I've been playing with them. And we're doing a Baldur's Gate adventure because Baldur's Gate 3 was so successful. They wanted to place the campaign somewhere that everyone was familiar with. And we just had our second session with that. We are level 3 now, and it's been a ton of fun. We've gotten to have do all kinds of stuff. We're currently investigating a murder. And we kind of are just getting started with that. So I'm excited to see where that goes. We got a whole lot of stuff to do over there still. DM has been very gracious. He's a professional DM. His name is Zero. He's a professional DM who volunteered to kind of help run that whole thing. And then there's another very wonderful, sweet, that sounds cool. That's my character. Do I have a go-to? Right now I have a cleric that I'm playing in that game. Part of being a DM, for me at least, has been looking at all the cool stuff that all the classes can do and being like, I want to try that out. So my next one will probably be a paladin. But my cleric over there is a Grave Domain cleric who worships Anubis, and his whole thing is like, you know what? We have been very misunderstood. We aren't about death, we are about welcoming to the afterlife and making that transition graceful. And death isn't something to be feared. So it's been very fun to kind of start role playing that and kind of getting into everything there, because religion in D&D is just such a cool tool. Because it's like if you aren't religious in D&D, it's like there are literal gods that like you see miracles performed on the daily. So it's kind of hard not to have like some faith in D&D. But all his like spells are relating to death because of that. So one of the spells he gets is like, oh hey, this body that I found doesn't decay for like a week, which is cool, because in D&D at least that means it can be revived and all of that shenanigans. There we go. This is a very difficult thing to hold, because all the parts where it's convenient to hold are immediately painted. And I should have planned this a little bit better. There we go. Should be fine. Yeah, so I've been having fun with that, but there's been a redemption paladin, which is basically a paladin who gets all his powers by being like, hey, I believe that anyone can be redeemed. They just have to make the choice to follow a better path. And I've been looking forward to playing that, but that character is something that is a bit more developed in my head, and I wanted to play that with kind of an ongoing party rather than a drop-in, drop-out thing where you don't get to focus on any one character too much. So I'm looking forward to playing that as well. I've also played a ranger who has a little baby pet dragon, because dragons are cool as crap. But I mean, I plan to hopefully play pretty much every class. You saw a skit of a D&D game where the party became obsessed with getting to know the barmaid instead of the obvious mysterious stranger until the DM makes the stranger kill the barmaid. Party talk to him. And they just cast Speak with Dead on the barmaid and carry on. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it goes. But that's also like such a fun concept, you know? When you're not the DM, that is just the most fun thing to be like, hey, this character that you only has a name because we asked you what it was 10 seconds ago. This is the only one that we're going to engage with for the rest of the campaign. And that's when the DM is like, oh, well, I'm going to make this person evil now and a terrible person. Or they're nice, but that's not me. I think if all goes well, I think our next game for Eberron, at least, is going to be this weekend on Saturday. If ideally, if all goes well. Um, so I'm hoping that works out because I have a ton of fun stuff planned. There's a really cool magic shop that I kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge told them to visit at the end of last episode. I was like, hey, you guys should go check out this thing because that's where plot happens. So I'm hoping that we can get to there pretty early in the episode. And then we can have all the cool stuff happen. On the bright side, all the delay in getting there has given me the opportunity to rework some of the clunkier stuff that I had planned out. Or not really planned out, but the stuff that I didn't have planned out, really. Not sure you can catch up. Yeah, that's fine. Time zones permitted. Of course. Let's see. Yeah, the stuff I was kind of more hand wavy. Sit down to do guest voice, of course. I'm actually working on that stuff right now to have some guests in because now that we're down to 3 players, it's a bit easier to coordinate everything. So I'm hoping to get some guest people on soon. I've been doing a whole bunch of planning for that. There is you and Dor from Wheezy's stream. He asked a long time ago, and I wanted to try and get him in as well. So I'm trying to get that together. And really, just as soon as I mentioned it, or as soon as I originally mentioned that I was doing D&D, I had a whole bunch of people reach out, and I was like, oh, I would love to have all of you on. But I also only have so many spots, and now that there's some more spots open, I can get some more people, and I want to get some guests on for like a single episode at a time for a little bit, and then hopefully get someone in more permanently to help out. Or not to help out, but to play in the games with us. I think that would be very fun for everyone. And it might end up being that it'll just be one of the guests that we really liked playing with ends up coming back. It might also be someone who doesn't even do a guest spot. We'll see. But I have high hopes for all of that. I'm hoping that I can start getting that through soon, because I would love to have you all on. I think I might even have a spot, not this weekend, but in the next episode after, if all goes well, at least, for someone. But I don't remember who it is, so I might be messaging you about that if it's something that you would be interested in. As long as this weekend's episode goes smoothly enough that we can still make it happen. Do I end up writing several different stories? Oh, I need to move my mouse. My mouse is partially over chat, where every message you guys write, it's right in the middle of it. There we go. Do you end up writing several different stories to fit where the party might go, or is it mostly improv and steer them back to the point in mind? It's somewhere in between. I write kind of a couple possibilities, but kind of mainly so that it follows one kind of plot, but however they get to that point is up to them. Where it's like, oh, here's this very obvious thing that you guys should check out and investigate, and they might not go straight there, but at certain points it's also very much like, okay, well, this huge thing is attacking you guys, you need to run, and the NPC that you're with is highly suggesting you go here. And they're like, oh, well, we'll go there then. But there's also, like, you know, there's also plenty of moments that are like, oh, well, you guys wake up for the day. Do you guys, like, where do you guys want to do? What do you want to look for? They want to look for any, like, a job board or a quest post board, and I give them a couple options, and they pick whichever sounds the most exciting. And that kind of stuff is mostly improv, with kind of supplemented by some of the D&D books that I have. So I have one. Oh, posture. God. Thank you for the posture check. Or there is one book that has been helping me a lot called, I think it's the DM's Guide to Random Encounters. And it has a lot of kind of quick encounters to try or to play around with, so that there's always something to do. And then it also has a couple larger, like, plot lines that, you know, I might steal one of these days. There's definitely one that I have been really liking and planning to do as kind of a special at some point. With kind of whenever we do it, it'll be I give everyone a new character just for that session to run that, or depending on how the campaign's going, it might be worked into the main campaign. But part of me wants to give them some new characters just for one session so that I can kill the characters and have them be more okay with player death, or with character death, not player. It would be unfortunate if one of them died. But yeah, like a Halloween special kind of thing. I actually think I have something planned for next year's Halloween too, because last year they all wanted to do a Halloween special, and I had about an afternoon to plan the Halloween special before it happened. and it ended up not being like a huge mystery or anything, or like a kind of a thriller type thing. Um, but I made it more of a, hey, here's this like combat using a mechanic we haven't tried before, uh, and it was kind of interesting, but I would have loved to do something a bit more planned out and a bit more in depth. So I've been planning it already. Um, so hopefully this year's Halloween special is going to be a little bit more fun. Um, and that is also going to be something that can be either uh, worked into the main plot or it can be um, like a standalone thing. But it will probably be somewhere in between. They might have the same characters, but it still be a standalone thing. Um, but stuff like that is always fun. It gives a little bit of variety to what we all do. Because there's plenty of times where we kind of get into the routine of it and don't mix it up and experiment. Good Halloween special events on GTA with alternate timeline events. Same character, no lasting effects. Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. It might be alternate timeline. Nothing happens that is gonna, like, if the character dies, they won't stay dead, but they don't have to learn a new character, for example. Um, and I think that'll be fun. Um, regardless of how we. But I'm also trying to work in plenty of more compelling and bigger stories to the main plot as well, so that every character gets to have uh, their moment and kind of get to grow as a character and be more serious or grow however they want to. Um, so we're diving into someone's backstory a bit. Maybe this next episode, depending on how quickly we get through things. It also might be in like 3 episodes if we kind of meander through it all. Um, and all I'm doing right now, by the way, is just going around and touching up anywhere where the paint kind of isn't quite thick enough and you can kind of see through it. Just touching that up and thickening that just a little bit. Love a good juicy bit of backstory. Exactly. I've been writing for days, trying to get it all together, and kind of bringing my notes over from my old note taking system, so it's all consolidated and linked together. Um, but so far it's been going good. It's been flying through all of it, and I am excited to get into the story whenever we get there, because it's not going to be soon at the rate we're going. Uh, which is kind of why we're trying to get back into it and ramp it up. Um, we've had quite a few slower episodes, which is fine. We're having fun getting back into it. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And then we will set that down upside down to dry. I'm going to grab this little pressure plate and we're going to do one more coat all around it because we used the thinner paints for this. And it needs a bit more love. Did the music stop? Why did the music stop? Oh, there we go. Let me drag it back over to the monitor that I can see. There we go. There we go. Now it's playing again. What? Oh, now it's buffering? Why? Why are you buffering? Just play the music. Ah. Yeah, it's all Lily Pichu, because all of her stuff is all DMCA free, which is really convenient. There we go. Because I don't have to worry about any of it getting copyrighted on YouTube or Twitch. And also, she is a cool creator who is nice to support by giving her the streams. Her and Michael Reeves are also just some of my favorite creators. Very, very funny. Lily's like painting series, like painting interview series, very fun to watch. And then Michael just always doing crazy shit. Yeah, they're amazing. All of OTV is fun too. You know, nothing wrong with any of them, but Michael and Lily definitely my favorites. They do crazy shit all the time, and they also just play so well off each other, which kind of makes sense since they're a couple. But also, sometimes they don't. Like sometimes couples don't play well off each other, and it's just kind of awkward. But with them, it really works well. They're just both genuinely very funny people. Michael actually is probably one of the people that inspired me to start doing like more, like take more time and make a video where I make something, which is what all this painting is for. Is I'm gonna make a video about it. But kind of his videos taking more time and you know, making one video every few months to a year rather than you know, getting a new video every week is a format that I like. Kind of lower stress and lets me kind of take my time and make sure it's a good product, something I enjoy doing and can say I'm proud of, rather than just getting something out and it being garbage. Yeah, it sucks for the algorithm, but also if the video is good enough, it doesn't matter because people will share it, and that's more important. And that helps the algorithm. But that also requires the algorithm to push it enough for people to actually see it and think it's cool. Which honestly, I don't think it's gonna really happen anyway, because I'm not really too serious about like doing YouTube stuff. But it's something I'm enjoying doing in my free time, and I know enough about it from working in YouTube, like as much as I do. Especially with Bryce, with kind of those Austin creators. It's taught me a lot for sure. Um, and then also it's just fun to tinker around with um, all the stuff in the background. Like uh, I'm figuring out how to multi-stream and uh, stream to YouTube Shorts and TikTok, which I'm not doing either of those right now, but I'm learning how to do that right now because that's, it's a whole new audience that you have the potential to meet. Um, and just kind of learning all that stuff has been a blast. And we're almost done here with this plate. And then after this, that might be the end for tonight. I do want to add some more like rust accents to the main body next stream, but I got a pretty late start tonight, unfortunately. Pretty late start, so we're not going to get to do that tonight. Yeah, enjoy it too is the best. Yeah. And then also part of learning all that stuff is when my clients ask me about it, I'm like, oh yeah, here's all of this information that I have spent a ton of time learning and have never used, and I can now say it's worth it. For example, my client in Dallas, Texas, the big streamer that I do all the lights for, I was helping him out yesterday. He had a new it's called a MIDI pad. I know you do theater. I don't know how familiar you are with MIDI, but it's a MIDI board basically, and he had me help him set it up last night. No, it wasn't last night. It was like 2 nights ago. I think it was Saturday night. I think. And I was up with him till like 5 in the morning, just getting that together and set up. And it was a blast. And I've also just gotten to meet really cool people through it, like all those creators. And there's a guy on YouTube named Art is War who does a bunch of audio stuff, and he does all the audio stuff for that same client who I did the lights for. And I met him and I got to talk with him for a little bit, doing the same stuff. Vaguely, but not really. You do theater in a village hall, old tech. Yeah, okay. Yeah, MIDI is basically just, it's mainly used for like recording pianos and stuff. Like you can play a piano and it will record what notes you hit, and you can like apply any instrument to it basically. But we use it for lighting. We use it like, yo, you hit this button and all of these lights come on. And it's very fun. So I was setting all of that up for him, and I was talking to that Art is War guy, learning about audio stuff, and I got some more audio stuff that I want to get now, that I immediately put on my wish list. So hopefully, whenever Twitch pays me, I might be getting some new audio equipment. Hopefully, or I might, use that money wisely for like groceries. We'll see. Or it'll be my WheezyCon ticket. Who knows? That might actually be what it has to go to, because WheezyCon tickets are now live. Fun fact. Very exciting. And I haven't bought my ticket yet. Because I am a procrastinator. Alright, there we go. That is just about done. And that just needs to rest, or to dry. And we didn't paint this little nub on the bottom. I need to put it like here for you guys to see. This little nub on the bottom, because whenever I painted it on the other ones, and I can show you that in a moment, on these guys that are kind of stuck together, when I would paint them, they kind of get stuck at the bottom. Let me put it down so you guys can see it. When you push the plate down, these come up and they kind of clamp around your drink, but it kind of locks down there. So I've had to kind of go at it with some sandpaper and sand it back down a little bit. You can see it a little bit better over here. I've been sanding kind of right back down to how it started with some sandpaper, just to try and get it to kind of go smoothly. We have to be playing with the flights too. Big planning needed. Exactly. I need to figure out how I'm gonna get there, where I'm gonna stay while I'm there, all of that stuff. Because it's gonna be in Pittsburgh this year, and I don't know enough people in Pittsburgh who can just be like, yeah, you can stay with me for the weekend, sure. Because I know like one person in Pittsburgh. And it's also, awkward to ask someone, hey, can I stay with you while I go to this event that you can't go to? But I'm excited to go. It'll be fun. All right, let's see how that one goes. Yeah, it's a little bit smoother, not too much. After sanding, it doesn't get as stuck, but you still have to push it down. So I'll be working on those in my free time, trying to get those. Another VOD though, I'll live vicariously again. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a vlog or something from there, because I don't remember how much we did last time we were out there, but I want to do a bit more filming while we're out there. I think it'll be a nice trip for Wheezy to film and film a vlog during. Well, maybe I'll film something too. We'll see. For today, though, I think that's going to be all. It's getting just about 8 o'clock, which is typically when I try and wind down. And tonight we're going to go say hi to Queen of Vikings. You might be familiar with her from Wheezy streams. They are practically engaged at this point. Thanks for, of course, Grumpy. Thank you for hanging out. We're going to go see Queen. Because she is doing her... You should probably sleep. Yeah, of course. She's finishing up her subathon. It's the last day to donate to her subathon. And then she's going to go to PAX this weekend. And anything that is on the timer before she leaves, she still has to kind of serve out. So we're going to go say hi to her. And that'll be nice and fun. If I can get that set up. So, stick around a little bit and say hi to her. And for my YouTube audience, hop on over to my Twitch and try and hop into that raid. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.